Rosh Chodesh Teves. Teves is a month that we don't find too much mention of it, except we talk about Teves next Friday, Mitzvah Shem, will be on this Friday. But, and that also is connected to what we're going to talk about today. But there's a Gemara in Masechet Tainis and Davav Amud Beis. The Gemara says two Lashonos. One Lashon the Gemara says is Tava Lishata de Teves Armauta. It's good for a year when Teves does not have rain. Does not have rain. Okay? Says the Gemara. And then, by the way, then there's a second Lashon that says Tava Lashata Teves Minavauta. It's good for the year when Teves does have rain, that the roads are muddy with the rain from of Teves. Okay? Only talks about Teves. We don't find that discussion by other months of the year. Okay? Now, why is it good for it to be an Armauta, that it shouldn't have rain? So the Gemara says, could be that if you had rains before, so then it's good for to have a little bit of a dry period, that shouldn't be too much rain, which could rot the produce. Or that it's good that they don't have rain, that the Talmidim can go to yeshiva, right? It's they have roads open that it's not raining and they can go to yeshiva. Mm-hmm. We don't find any other month that talks about letting the Talmidim go to yeshiva. What about Kislev? What about in Shvat? We don't want to talk about that. And the one who says this, Minavauta, Gemara says, if you didn't have rains beforehand, then you need the rains in Teves. I think that the point of Teves is that Teves is the center, the heart of the winter. Okay? Kislev is the beginning, right? You want to start having rains. To what point do you still do? When do you start to fast? When do you start to ask? Kislev is the beginning of the winter. Mm-hmm. Shvat, you already have Tu B'Shvat, things begin producing. You start seeing the beginning of spring, right? Mm-hmm. Teves is the heart of winter. And the Gemara is discussing something about Teves. What's unique about Teves at the heart of winter? And I think that the pshat is that Teves is the heart of winter. It's the time that we're supposed to feel winter. What's winter? Winter is a time of hibernation. Everything it's gearing up. It's following. It's loading up for what's going to be in the spring, right? It's taking in what you need. That winter is a time of preparation. It's a time where it's dark, the longest nights, short days, right? So the Gemara says that Teves is a month that, depending on the type of year, we've got to make Teves a month where you can feel the winter, where you can think about it, because winter is a time of depth, a time of being with yourself, right? It's not out in the open, and no, it's a time. Sometimes it's good that Teves is no rain, so it gives you a chance to be able to breathe a little bit. Or sometimes it's good that it's rainy if you need the rain, but it's got to be a time where you feel winter. You've got to have a chance to experience the winter in Teves. That's what Teves is. We say in Al Nisim, we say that the Yevanim tried to be Lashkichem Terasecha Avirim Chuker Tzenecha. V'atav Rachmecha Rabim Matel and Beis Tzara. Some you Hashem stood for us. You said, Rafta es Rivam, Danta es Dinam. You fought their battles and you judged their judgments. What does it mean, you judged their judgments? What judgments? What are we talking about? It means that a time of coming to a thoughtful conclusion of what's right and what's wrong. And therefore Hashem took up the cudgel for Klal Yisrael to say, listen, the Yevanim acted to us improperly, and therefore now we're going to go ahead and these are things that have to be done in order to put things into the right track again. But the last couple of days I've been thinking the order is wrong. First, you sit down and you figure out. Tantas dinam. Figure it out what's right and what's wrong. After you figure out what's right and what's wrong, then Raftas Rivam, you go to battle. But why does it start off Raftas Rivam and only then Tantas dinam? Why does that come second? And I looked in the Otzrat Tfilas, and there's the Iyun Tfila, and he asked the Kasha. I was very happy because it was bothering me, and I didn't want it to be that it was a silly question. And I found that the Iyun Tfila asked the question. He gives an answer, but I'll give a slightly different answer that I think of, but it's along the lines, but slightly different what he says. The Yevanim, the Hashmonaim, when they started their merid, the rebellion against the Greeks did not start as a thought-out battle. It was a spontaneous response. According to the Medrash, that when he saw them bringing a chazir on the Mizbeach, that then he just went over and killed the person who was doing this. It's one of the Midrashim, one of the Sefer Maccabim, right? That Matisyo, when he saw that being done, he just went over and killed him, and that started the rebellion. Or there are other reasons that could have started the rebellion, but it was spontaneous. Because as a thought-out battle, they'd been crazy. How could they start? Rosh in Zos HaBracha says it's 11 people, right? The sons of the Hashmonoim, sons of Hashmonoi, and the sons of Matisyo, right? They're the people against the whole Greek army. You don't do that when you do a thought-out battle. The battle was a spontaneous reaction. I can't live this way. I can't take it. This is something that I immediately have to go do. And that's Raftas Rivam. Because it was a tremendous Yeshuas Hashem. It was a tremendous Yeshuas Hashem. It was impossible. You're going against the army, which is the power of the world. The Greek army was known to Alexander the Great set up his armies, and these are his Talmidim, these are his generals, and they had warfare figured out in the way it was supposed to be, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to fight a battle against them. It was spontaneous. But they did it because I can't live this way. I've got to do. But afterwards, you got to stop. And you have to think about what does wrong mean. And therefore it's Raftas Rivam. Immediately they went into battle, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu took up for them. It helped them in their battle. But then there's Dantas Dinam. Then there's a time that you have to sit down and you have to think out, hey, what exactly is the right thing? And perhaps that's even the pshat, Nokamtes Nikmasam, because the greatest revenge against the Yevanim was the Torah, Avodas Hashem, Avodas HaMikdash was put back into place. That was the revenge. Revenge wasn't that you killed him. There was a worse revenge. The revenge was that you're trying to destroy everything that Torah and what Klal Yisrael stands for. We'll show you. We're going to last. We're the revenge, right? And that's something that Chazal were kovea Chanukah, as many Chazal say, Chanu Chafei. They didn't set the Yontiv until they had a chance to stop. Because you have to stop and say, okay, now what? Where am I going with this? What am I doing with it? Because there's got to be direction. Because if you don't think it out properly, you can come to the wrong conclusions, right? And perhaps that's why Hanukkah ends in Teves. Because Teves is the time where, think about it, it's heavy, it's rainy, or maybe there's a little break in the rains where you can have a chance to think clearly and to stop and think, hey, where is it leading to? What is the winter going to bring to a spring? What am I doing with that? What am I washing out from the old and setting the foundation for the new? What am I going to do? And that's the importance of Teves. We end Hanukkah. Tomorrow is Zos Hanukkah by the Hasidic, tremendous Kabbalah, whatever, tremendous day. What is it? It's to stop and think, right? Where are we going? We're different than the Goyim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us, my Rabbi said, in the heart of winter, a Yom Tov for the continuation of Klal Yisrael, right? What is it saying? What does it mean? How do I react to it? What does my independence mean to me? It's got to be something that's deep, something that goes to the heart of what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us, a recognition that we're Klal Yisrael, Torah Shebal Peh, the koyach of Gabrut and Ruach. That all has to come from the midst of the depth of the month of Teves. Shenizkelakach, and come to a Gula Shlema